Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and record this in addition to holding our live Zooms. So hopefully this is going to be nearly identical to the live Zooms, but I'll have to do those at my house because it's getting snowy. So here we go. Spanish 2. Today we are going to be talking about present tense verb conjugations. So this is a phenomenal thing for us just to continually bring up and to review and to just make sure that we still have this mastered, or shake off any rust if we're getting a little rusty. Because one thing about present tense verb conjugations is they're never going to go away as long as we're in Spanish class. So once we get back, we are going to talk a little bit more about the present tense, and we are going to be addressing present tense with jobs and with places in a city. So you'll be able to say things like, the lawyer works in the courthouse. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page with regular present tense conjugations. I am going to share our PowerPoint. I'm going to talk over it, and then I've got your assignment under the document camera, and we will go through that together, or at least go through parts of it together. I don't want to sit through and go through the whole thing. If I did, what's the point of assigning you any work? Okay, so we're just going to buzz through this because you guys are seasoned professionals. So we are going to talk about regular verb conjugations in the present tense. So as you guys are well aware, there are multiple tenses in Spanish and in English. Well, that sounds kind of redundant, but it's important to realize. And the present tense is going to be showing things that are currently happening. So if you wanted to say like, I run after school, or I eat lots of pizza, those are all in the present tense. So all verbs in Spanish have those two parts. We have the infinitive ending, the AR, ER, or IR, and the stem. So the stem is just everything but the ending. And conjugating a verb is taking it from the infinitive and giving it a subject and a time frame, or a verb tense. So our steps, these are our important steps. You guys love them, you know them. Step 1 is to drop the infinitive ending. Step 2 is to find our new subject. And step 3 is to select our new ending. So for AR verbs, we have these new endings. We have o, as, a, amos, ais, an. So as the seasoned professionals that we are, we can look at the verb hablo, which is a conjugated form of the verb hablar, or to talk, and we can identify the subject in this sentence just by the spelling of the verb. So because hablo ends in an O, we know that it is yo hablo, I talk. What about cantan? Take a second. Who is singing in this sentence? Very good. It would be either ellos, ellas, or ustedes, because the infinitive ending has been replaced with an. And then we have montas en bicicleta. Who is riding the bike? If it ends in AS, you are riding the bike, because as goes with tu. Okay, so once again, we have our 3 steps. And then here are the endings for ER and IR verbs. We have OSE, hemos, eis, en, and then OSE, imos, is, en for IR verbs. So pause the video or write this down if you do not already have it, or if you don't have it memorized. And let's do some more review. So what about leemos? Who's the subject? Who reads? Very good. We read. Escribes. Who writes? So based on the spelling, the ES, we know that you write. And then corres, who runs. Because the ending is ace, we'll look at our charts and we'll see that that is the vosotros form. So y'all run. And I don't want to do those practices because you cats are going to have to practice on your own paper. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to go ahead and get started. So section A, we'll do 2 of these together. We'll do section B together. We'll do some of these. And then we'll write some original sentences. We'll do a few from each section. So section 1 says conjugate the following verbs in the present tense. List all of their conjugations. So this will just take a minute. It's a little repetitive, but it's good for you. You're just going to write out the 6 different forms. Now, if you do not want to list them out like this, you are more than welcome to draw out their completed conjugation chart. So if you wanted to format these in the 3x2 little grid, you can do that. That's fine. So for hablar, we have hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. And then comer, we do the same thing, but with our different set of endings. So we'd say como, comes, come, comemos, comes, and comen. So we see our ER endings in sequence, sequential order. Okay, phenomenal. Now, section B, conjugate ear to go into the present tense. Now, ear is irregular in about 9 out of 10 times. So about 90% of the time, it's going to be stupid and weird. But once I get you started on these, you will remember them in an instant. So ear, to go, if we wanted to say I go, we would say voy. You go is vas. He or she goes is va. And then I want you guys to do the remaining 3. So voy, vas, va, and then continue that on your own. In section C, it says conjugate the verbs in parentheses for each sentence. So you've been given a verb, and we're just going to conjugate it to fit into context. So Julia, and then our verb is esperar. So because esperar is an AR verb, we will drop the AR. And our step 2 says to find our subject, which is Julia, which is ella. We would look at our AR chart and find that the appropriate ending would be an A. So Julia espera para la carta. She waits for the letter. Okay, número 2, los estudiantes. So that is going to be our subject. And then the verb is amar, love, which is also an AR verb. So we will drop the AR and look at our AR chart to figure out which ending we would add to suit the subject, los estudiantes, or ellos. So we would add an AN. And then some extra examples. We have tú bailas. And then yo practico. Okay. And then we are going to create 10 original sentences in section D in the present tense. So if you want, you can recycle some of the conjugations you used up here. Just for my sake, I think I'm going to use a couple from section B for some examples. So the verb ir in the present tense. Let's imagine I wanted to say, I go to your house. So I would say, yo voy. And then whenever we use the verb ir, it's always followed by the preposition a. So we would say, voy a tu casa. Or if I said, Jenny va al restaurante. Jenny goes to the restaurant. And then we can use just regular present tense verbs as well. So if you wanted to say something like, I eat soup, you might say, yo como la sopa. There are 3 great examples for you. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Remind 101. You can comment on Google Classroom. You can email me. Or if you need to maybe write down your question and save it for Monday when we're in person, that would also be fine. I'll talk to you guys later.